Get your mouth together.
I am. Trust issues. Not trusting your spouse on them telling you something and then you running around not believing them and going to talk to somebody else or somebody else tell you the same thing that your spouse just said. So, do you have any instance?
I definitely have instances.
Bring it up. Go ahead, talk. Say whatever you want to say.
Well, I'm just saying, because, you know, I always like to tell on you, you know?
Hey, I have no problem with that. Say what you got to say.
Yeah. But, you know, the reason why we go through these things is also to help other people. So we've been through these things and we're able to share our experiences. And it's not to like put you down or be like, oh, I'm here to snitch on my husband and say how much he's done to me that's bad. At the end of the day, we both learned and grow together. So with that being said, yes, we do have an instance where
multiple.
Yes, especially like I cannot remember exactly what it was about or exactly what I said, but I recall, as I know you recall, situations where I told you something, whether it was pertaining to the Bible or pertaining to
just life in general.
Yeah, just whatever. I've said something to you, and then you be like, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we'll be out somewhere and somebody else will tell you, be like, yeah, that sounds good. It's like, I will.
Right, I just said that. Like, I just
said that. And it feels hurtful a little bit too. For you to just take somebody else's word, some random person, we just meeting people at the church. This is the second day at the church and you just like, yeah.
All right, let me give y'all context because this is when we first started. I was messing up like this because ain't no yesterday, nothing. Because you're learning somebody, and like I said before, and what I described to you is, we think when we say, "Oh yeah, I could be with this person, I trust them."
Right.
There's so many different areas of trust, and just saying, you know, so many different departments of trust. Okay, I trust them with finances. Okay, I don't trust them with kids. I don't trust them with information. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Like maybe you don't 100% trust them in this area with kids or with a family, but you're getting to that point.
Right.
It's maybe in certain areas of my life, I didn't 100% take you on your word and be like, okay, that's facts. Or maybe I didn't be like, maybe just my upbringing or people I met, I was like, okay, maybe I was 50-50 in that area of what you said something to me, or you gave me some helpful information. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe, because I don't know, like, after a while, I started seeing that you was right. I'm going to give you that. You was right about a lot of stuff. Like 9 out of 10 stuff you was right about.
10 out of 10.
But sometimes you come in as a man, you might become prideful and you be like, maybe she doesn't know everything. Like, I'm not going to take her word. Okay, she said that, cool. I'm going to probably get a second opinion or something. But is that right? No, it's not. It's not. I would admit to that, saying, no, that's not right. By doing that.
I just feel like this too, you know, why would you just, you know, because you explain like in different areas you don't trust your spouse, but then you would trust a complete stranger or you would trust the pastor or the first lady or somebody at the church, somebody outside of the church, your family members, your friends. You'll take their word for something and not your spouse. It's just off-putting, really, you know?
It is definitely when you don't think you're doing that all the way. You think,
but then when your spouse tell you doing it, what about that, huh?
I mean, right. That's a good point. But we don't feel like you're doing that all the time. Maybe sometimes, like, I think it might be hard for somebody to trust somebody 100% with everything when they first meet them. That might have to take baby steps with everything. So you might come across conversation where you said something and then somebody else said it, but you took it, you finally understand, you finally listen when they said it. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of messed up, but...
Yeah. I guess I get what
You
you're
know what I'm
saying because
saying?
I
You
find
nobody.
myself doing it too. I know that you
Right.
probably can't think of any instances, but I feel like I've done that with my brother and you. Like
Mm.
you'll get because my brother
Plain
is
example,
my
vehicles, right.
right my bro. Thank you for
I'm
bringing
sorry,
that
my
up.
bad.
You
No,
was
go ahead.
real. You was
My
real.
bad.
No, I'm just saying. But right, he's an expert at vehicles.
Right.
Okay,
Great
so
example.
I'm calling. I'm like, you may say something. You may say this is what we doing for our family. I'm like, you know what? Let me just call my brother to see if this is the right step.
Right.
And I just feel like that's totally out of order. So I have also done it too. So y'all know here, I just want y'all to know, I tell on myself all the time, okay? I have no problem with letting y'all know my flaws because it's a lot of them. So
Right. That is a good example because, I remember a couple of times, I think it was like a vehicle, and I said, oh, no, this is the problem. Or I should go here to buy it. Or I should go to this shop. And you're like, no, let's call my brother so we can go to this type of shop or we can get it from here and have it cheaper. And after a while, I start understanding, like, your brother's been through your life, your whole entire life. I just got here. So I need to understand, like, you in certain areas you might not trust. You trust your brother more than me. And people might think that's hurtful and then they might argue about it, but you have to look at it like, she been knowing him longer and I just got in the picture. It might take time. It's not gonna be like this forever. And you might think this in your mind. It might come up like, this is gonna be like this forever. She gonna always do this to me. Undermine me and just go and not listen to me, but listen to her brother.
But
and I'm her man, she say I am, and all this.
But this is too, like when your family member is right about something on certain instances too, because well, I'm just saying in a relationship where it has been times that we went your way, it didn't go right. So it was like this time I'm calling my brother because but that's still not the right thing to do because we're going through this together. So if you was wrong about it, where's your grace? Where's your mercy? Where's your love?
Right.
Because you show me that grace, that mercy, and that love in every area, you know?
Right.
So for me to just jump up and be like, this time I know I need to call my brother, or I know I need to call my dad or my uncle on this because he just don't know what he doing. That's how it's gonna be forever?
Right.
How do we tear this down? How do we begin to build that trust?
I think both parties need to understand it's going to take time for that to happen. Now, it's nothing that somebody should feel hurtful and be mad and just hold it against that person. But give it time. Let it get to a point where they understand, like, I have to leave everybody aside and really trust in my husband or really trust in my wife and really understand, like, it's just us two against everybody else. They got their own life. We need to figure it out for us. Like an instance with me, it was an instance with a hotel situation, and I seen my mama do this before, and I was like, let me just go ahead and call my mama, and that was a big issue. But I didn't understand the past and the situation you've been through with the whole with your ex and other things where it's starting to look like a pattern. Like you starting to have a pattern of your ex, and I got in my feelings about it. I'm like, I'm just trying to help, but you're looking like, nah, this starting to look like what I'm used to, and I don't like where this is going. Let's handle it ourselves and stop running and calling your parents because we're grown at this point.
Well, I just felt like you didn't give me an opportunity. Like, soon as it happened, I'm calling my mom, and I'm like, whoa, I don't need your mama. No disrespect.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I'm a grown woman. I like to figure things out on my own. I like to make sure that I'm trying to handle it first. And then if I need some backup, I'll do my research before I start reaching out to your mama, my mom, or anybody's mom, you know? So it's nothing against the people at all. This is just my personality where I deal with things. I don't get a lawyer. I do everything myself. You know this. You know this. I do everything myself. So that's just my personality, and it's not to disrespect anyone, you know?
No. Exactly.
Oh, just one more thing. I'm just gonna be open and honest here. We cut each other off a lot, but this is not an issue for us. This is something we are working on for y'all's sake because it's like they cutting each other off. I didn't get I didn't get the full sentence from Allen. I didn't get the full sentence from Eve. So just bear with us, y'all.
Right. So understanding it might be a trigger for people past to go through
Right.
something like that. I recognize that, like, because as soon as things happen, you can get in your feelings. It's like, whoa, stop. Let's not get in our feelings first. Let's figure out why this person is reacting like this before we just jump in our feelings. And now feelings end up adding to an argument. And now we're fighting over something that we could just need to just think about and step back and have a conversation. Just be mature and just have a conversation. And that's what I wish we would have had before I would have gotten my feelings. And you did an excellent job with solving the issue. And I should have known, like, hey, like, understand the leave and cleave. Like, if you join with somebody, just understand it's y'all two trying to figure it out. Don't run to other parties.
Right.
Now, if y'all agree on talking to an expert about this situation, perfect. But just saying, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this person. It's like, whoa, we didn't even figure it out first.
Right.
Let's figure it out first. And then if we can't, then, let's go through another step. And if we have to go to Z where we have to call other people, cool. And some people are like, well, what's wrong with, if my brother's a lawyer, why can't I just call my brother? But you have to look at it the other person. The other person like, let me get a chance to figure it out. We can figure it out together and make a mistake. Let's make mistakes. But somebody probably like, I don't want to make a mistake in my life. Let's just, it's so beautiful in the journey of figuring things out as a unit, because it could go wrong and it could go right, but y'all figured it out together instead of running off to somebody else. And I know this is going to impact somebody and help somebody, because they be like, I didn't see it like that. I wish I would have seen it in the beginning like that, or they're in the midst of it right now. But like, we keep arguing about it, and y'all don't just step back and figure out, like, what is wrong? Like, why do you feel like that when I call somebody and they be like, you feel like you undermining me, you don't feel like you trust me, you don't feel like you consider me, or thinking that I have a viewpoint. What do I think about, maybe doing, maybe y'all got kids together and their mom is a stylist or sister is a
some
stylist.
Point, Daddy, I'm gonna have to jump in this.
Oh, my bad.
I'm trying not to cut you off, but I'm itching. I'm like, Mom, we're gonna have to figure something out.
No.
Because I'm gonna lose my train of thought.
Do your thing.
It's been 3 minutes.
My bad.
I feel like that. I can't wait to jump in. But okay, listen, because everything you said was excellent. But what I wanted to point out is sometimes it's like when you call and ask somebody whatever it is, you're putting them into your business too.
Right.
So now, they following up, well, what happened and what you have to do, and it's just now you're putting somebody in your business, and it's unnecessary to add different family members, friends, associates, whoever in your business before you even communicate with your spouse about it. Just quick to jump to somebody else that you trust outside of your spouse. Right. It's supposed to be a safe place with marriage.
Right.
With the unity, and like you said, the leave and cleave. When it ain't feeling like the leave and cleave, I don't know. It's off to me.
Right, it's off balance.
It's off balance. It's just not right, yeah.
Like we was joined together and we're talking about this personal subject about married couples. So, this a leave and cleave. You have to leave your family to join with your spouse. And this is the area y'all gonna have to work at constantly on trusting each other, and just being talk to your spouse and understand, like, hey, am I doing this right? Do you feel like I'm not thinking about you, I'm not considering you, and just having conversation. And I wish somebody would have told me this, and I just really messed that up. So.
Well, I don't feel like you messed it up, because we learned from it, we grew from it, and we're not in that place now, because anything that we have going on, we come to each other first and we're figuring it out together.
Right.
And then once you begin to figure it out together, you see that you don't need anybody outside of you all to make decisions. Once you start getting opinions from over here and over there, your mama said, your daddy said, don't nobody want to hear that. I don't want to hear what your mama said or your dad. I'm just being honest. I
Right.
don't want to hear that.
Right.
Who wants to hear? Let's be realistic.
Right.
I'm pretty sure people gonna be like, oh, I can't believe she said that. You feel the same way deep down inside.
Right.
Nobody want. If I came to you and said, my dad said, you like, oh, okay.
Right.
But that doesn't rule what we gonna do. And it kind of puts you in a bad space with that person. Because if you're constantly running to that same person, whoever it is,
Right.
it makes your spouse, it can make your spouse feel some type of way about that person.
Right. Right.
And that's just the truth.
That's true. And with women, ladies, if you have to run, definitely do not run. Because men, not every man or every guy, every, I can't think of no dude or whatever, want you to take money from somebody else. They might not say it, but I think it hurts their pride if you take money. Definitely not from a best friend. Definitely not from a brother.
No, I don't think you want to go here.
Right.
Let's move on past that. Let's move on. Moving on down the road.
But we need to consider our spouse.
Go ahead.
We need to consider our spouse. First of all, we can jump. That's fine. I have no problem. We could talk about it.
You said it.
It was an incident in our marriage where I thought it was a good idea. Excuse me. I thought it was a good idea to take money from my ex, which was a horrible decision.
It was the worst thing he could do, y'all.
Yeah,
like
one of the dumbest things.
I felt like that's cheating. I don't know who. Leave some comments below, okay? Right. Because I know a lot of people like sexually cheating. No, I felt like that was cheating.
Right.
Because it was such like the deception in it, because you had to go through family members to deceive and that made that please y'all don't do that. Don't involve your family members in whatever you got going on, because that just turned me completely off from your whole family. I just threw them all in the trash.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest.
Right.
I'm not at that place now, but at that place I just felt like I look stupid out here. All of your family members, nobody care about me. If they cared about me or considered our marriage in any way, it would be like, Allen, you shouldn't do that. No, I cannot do this. What about Eve? They didn't consider me. They didn't care. So when that happens and then people don't want to go around, I definitely didn't want to go around. Because why? Why would I go around? Why? This is not a safe place for me.
Right.
It's not a safe place. So I'm just, and women, if you have experienced something like that, please forgive your husband. Please forgive your husband, forgive the family members, because it's going to weigh you down. You're going to be the one thinking about and constantly in a depressive state about what somebody did. Forgive and move on. It's easier said than done, but you can do it. Because I know somebody else out here feeling or have experienced some hurt from their spouse, but y'all can make it through it. We have.
Amen.
It took 3 years, but we made it.
Right. It took a long time. And
it took a long
time. That was the first time, many times. Not first time, but been a long time since that conversation been brought up.
That's true.
When it first happened, it was being brought up
every day.
And then since I just brought it up because I really forgot.
I know
and,
you did.
That day
and
happened,
you'll never forget when it happened. You be like, oh, you want to go there? It's like,
right. So yeah, that was one of many things that we're gonna discuss. That things that we done. Mainly I done in this marriage. That wasn't the best decision. So because I wish I had some type of guidance on these. But that's why we sharing our experience and talking to you guys and letting y'all know, hey, it's not wise to do that, brother or sisters. Hey, contact y'all in a marriage. Contact each other, figure it out together.
Yes.
And that's the important thing, when you can talk to each other to figure it out and not go into outside parties and try to hide and deceive and try to, do everything, because it's not going to go well when they find out.
No. And I just want to point this out too, because I did make that statement, which was pretty harsh, which is what I really did was I threw them in the trash. But then I got in the trash too, because I got in that trash and I realized that I'm no better than anyone else when it comes to hurting people, making bad decisions, deceiving people, lying. I've lied and deceived and not cared about people's feelings or whatever, or just been inconsiderate. So I definitely took them out the trash and myself out the trash after I self-examined. Because we could all get to the point where we holier than thou. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Why they doing this to me? Why they saying this to me? And then you forget what you have done and say it to somebody else. So they no longer in the trash, you know.
Right. We understand that now.
I'm just letting them know.
But yeah, that was definitely hard. But so the whole thing is this.
You are an amazing husband. You have grown so much. And, you know, to be able to share this with the world,
Right. Maybe loud.
My bad, but they need to hear it.
Right. So, yeah. And definitely a difficult one to talk about again, or to bring up again and be like, oh, snap, man, I did that. Dang, that wasn't smart. That was pretty bad on my part.
And we broke up for some hours.
Right.
And I begged him, y'all, because he was like, I don't think this gonna work. I mean, we got to get into the full of scope everything because it wasn't just that. It was a lot of things that I, on my part, did as well. I contributed to it, you know, so it's not just he was just out here wilding, you know, that's not the case. But we would love to get into that and really dive deep and to help you all navigate some of these different obstacles that you will go through. You're going to go through them.
Yeah, definitely. It's a given, especially in marriage. You're going to have this different, I call it, it's not, I don't say season, different levels in a way, different sections of y'all marriage that you're going to go in and out of. And you might be talking to yourself in your head, but, oh, this is a good idea. And then when it happens, you're like, that wasn't so bright. It's like, right.
And not to mention, around that time, we were just coming from a church where somebody stood up, some type of, I guess he was supposed to be a prophet, but he stood up and said death and destruction was going to follow us if we left the church. We left the church and we definitely was hit with some spiritual attacks there.
Right.
And that's another thing that we will get into. So I just wanted to bring that up. It was a lot going on at that time.
Right. So if y'all thinking that, you know, your trust in your marriage won't be hit or won't be tested, that is...
you deceiving yourself to believe that.
You're right. You're deceiving yourself. You can have the best trust in the world in the beginning, but it's different. Like I said, different sections in the area of trust. And you have to still build upon that. You have to still work upon those different areas.
Right.
You know, your partner might say, yeah, I trust him 100%, but maybe it's one area is just like our finances. Like I don't know about finance all the way. Maybe he just don't get it all the way, but you have to give that person time still, let them get it together. Now, if they gambling and stuff, maybe you need to have a conversation with them and sit them down like, hey, I'm going to hold the money now. Like, you going to be on allowance for now. No, you have to have these real conversations. You're just going to be on allowance.
But let's be honest, most people won't have that conversation. If a man needs to come and tell his wife, you cut off from the bank account because you are frivolously spending, you are
shopping all the time.
Shopping or having me time all the time. All the time is you time. And I'm just here with the kids. Like, what we doing there?
Right. So the big thing is, man, I hope this bless somebody. I pray this really bless somebody, help somebody to understand trust is not just one area, it's different sections of so many different trust areas that they just might not be at a 100% yet. It's not like it's never going to get there. It's just right now. It might be an attack on that area. it might be hard for them to just really grasp, to trust you, and they love you. But then somebody might feel like, well, that's not love. They don't trust me all the way. It's okay, because I thought the same way. And you might be like, forget this. They don't trust me, and just throw every other trust out the window. Like, they do trust.
Right.
This area, they're going to take time.
But that's why I feel like that communication is so important, because you should just communicate and say, you know, I'm having issues in this area. I'm just trying to still figure it out. I don't feel too secure about it right now. You know, how do you feel about it? Have that open discussion. And I encourage the men to please, if it's hard conversations that you have to bring up to your wives, please just do it. Find the strength. Go on a fast, pray, do whatever you need to do to find the strength. Even if you feel like she's going to take it a certain way. It's been many a times where my husband has spoken a hard word, not harsh, a hard word for me to digest. And it changed my life completely. So I encourage you to help your wife, build her up. Don't be afraid to have conversations and disagreements. These things need to come up. Come up and come out.
Come up and come out. Amen.
Oh, Lord.
So, we thank you guys for tuning in, watching, wherever you at, wherever you receive this message at. We love y'all.
We do.
And we want y'all to know, love them anyway. Like the t-shirt say, love them anyway.
Even if it's your spouse.
Even if your spouse. Even if the season is a little rough, a little tough, and they ain't acting right. Love them anyway. Show that love of Christ on them.
And women, submit. Even if you're... Okay, well, I'm going to just...
Submit to what? Huh? Submit to what?
All I'm saying is it's still our responsibility to submit whether our husbands is doing, because God got our back at the end of the day. I know the Lord got my back.
All right.
So I'm going to submit. I'm going to do my part, and I'm going to let him humble you.
All right.
Oh, but you so awesome, though.
All right.
You really are.
Thank you.
Look at him blushing, y'all. Love you.
Well, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Bye.